Have you ever walked into a room and felt everyone's eyes on you without knowing why? Have you ever sensed you're carrying something within you, something others can never name, but they can feel? Psychologist Carl Jung called it archetypal presence, an invisible, rare, and powerful force. It can't be taught. You're either born with it or you're not. This aura isn't about beauty, fame, or even intelligence. It comes from somewhere deeper, a place few people ever reach, because accessing it requires pain, truth, and a confrontation with the unconscious. Only around 1% of people carry this kind of energy, and when you have it, the world reacts. Some are drawn to you like magnets. Others pull away, unsure whether to admire you or fear you. But why does this happen? What lies behind this unexplainable aura? And how would Jung explain this phenomenon? In this video, you shall uncover the mystery behind this rare presence, and maybe realize it's been inside you all along. You make people nervous without saying a single word. You walk into a room, and before you even sit down, something shifts. It's subtle, invisible, but undeniable. People glance your way, not out of curiosity, but because of an inner tension they can't explain. Some avoid your gaze. Others act overly friendly. A few pretend nothing happened at all, but they felt it. That silent pressure your presence brings. Jung would instead call this charisma. He stated call it archetypal tension, the weight of unresolved truths you carry inside you. Your aura isn't set about how you look or speak. It's about what you awaken in others without even trying. And that awakening is uncomfortable. The modern world thrives on masks. Polite smiles, small talk, surface-level interactions. But when someone walks in with a rare, grounded energy, it disturbs that fragile balance. Your energy isn't set to loud or chaotic. It's just real, and realness is disruptive. It makes people feel seen, truly seen, and being seen without masks or filters. That makes people vulnerable. That vulnerability often feels like a threat. It is why they talk about you after you leave, why they feel stirred up or drained around you. Not because you have done something wrong, but because you have done nothing fake. In a world built on pretense, being real is both rare and unsettling. That nervousness people feel is such not about you. It's about the parts of themselves they don't want to face. Jung called these parts the shadow, the emotions, desires, and truths we reject, suppress, or deny. When someone with a powerful presence enters a room, the shadow wakes up, and when the shadow wakes, it projects. That's why people get defensive, or sarcastic, or overly friendly, or cold and distant. They're not reacting to you. They're reacting to what you reflect back at them. Your presence acts like a mirror, but not the kind that shows what's already visible. You reflect what's best hidden, and that kind of reflection, it doesn't make people smile, it challenges them. You remind them of truths they have buried. You pull them toward a depth they've avoided for years. Maybe you have tried to turn yourself down, to seem normal, to be softer, quieter, more likable. But the truth is, your very existence makes people confront something, and that essence nothing to apologize for. You weren't born to blend in. You were born to carry presence, to hold an energy that doesn't shout, because it speaks through silence. So yes, people may feel uneasy around you, but don't confuse that with rejection. They're not rejecting you. They're resisting the truth that you awaken in them. There's a weight you carry, something you can't explain. You have felt it since childhood. That's not sadness, though that sets part of it. It's not anxiety, though it may feel like it. It's not just trauma, though some of it comes from there. It's more like a deep knowing, as if your soul remembers something the world has forgotten. You notice what others miss. You sense when someone's lying, even if their words are perfect. You feel the mood shift in a room before anyone speaks. You get tired in crowds because you absorb what others don't even realize they're carrying. Jung would say your unconscious is more active than most. You live close to the collective unconscious, a field of memory, emotion, and instinct that connects all of us. And when that field stirs, you feel it, even when you don't know why. People like you often feel older than their age, not physically, but spiritually, like life handed you wisdom before you had the words for it. You have always asked different questions, not how do I fit in, but why do I feel so much? What is really going on beneath all of this? This energy you carry doesn't make you better than others, but it does make you different. You seek silence because silence makes sense. You value truth over comfort. You crave meaning even when it hurts. And above all, you know deep down, there's more to life than what is feasible. But with that awareness comes isolation. Not because others push you away, but because you can play the same games. You see too much. You know too deeply. And sometimes that knowing is exhausting. You may have tried to explain it to friends, to family, to someone you loved, but the words always fall short because what you carry isn't logical. It's archetypal, something deeper than language, something Jung would describe as a calling. Not a calling in the spiritual sense, but in the sense that your life is meant to explore the depths, to walk into the unconscious, to become whole. This weight isn't a curse, it's a compass. It points inward, toward awareness, toward individuation, toward what actually matters beneath the surface. While others chase approval, you are drawn to truth. That's why you don't need a room full of people to feel seen. You only need one real moment, one honest connection. That's why you don't get bored in solitude. You meet yourself there, this inner depth. It can be taught, it can be faked, and it definitely can be turned off. It is something ancient, is in you. It's why you've always felt both burdened and blessed. So if you've ever felt like you are carrying something you can explain, it's because you are. And maybe that's your gift. You make people feel seen in ways they can't handle. Something strange happens when people talk to you. They start with small talk, the usual words, the usual tone, but within minutes, sometimes seconds, something shifts. Their voice softens, their eyes flicker, their guard lowers. Suddenly, they're saying things they didn't mean to say, revealing emotions they usually hide, admitting truths they haven't even told themselves. And you didn't ask for it. You didn't probe. You weren't digging. Your presence created a kind of space, a space that made them feel exposed, not in a threatening way, but in a raw, honest, almost sacred way. Jung would call this the mirror archetype. When someone with a rare aura reflects the hidden parts of another person, not with questions, not with advice, simply by being. You don't just listen, You absorb, and in your silence, people hear themselves. They feel seen on levels they've ignored for years. That is powerful, and for many, being seen feels good until it reveals what you have been avoiding. Most people move through life wearing emotional armor. They build identities on achievement, roles, and routine. They hide behind busy schedules, practice smiles, and well-chosen words. But when they stand in front of someone like you, that armor begins to crack. Not because you attack it, but because your energy makes pretending feel unbearable. It sets like an unexpected light is suddenly shining on them, and they don't know how to stand in it. You might notice strangers open up to you. Coworkers confide in you. Even those who hate deep conversations begin to unravel. And then they vanish. They go quiet. They act strange the next time they see you. Not because you did anything wrong, but because something inside them was revealed and they weren't set ready for it. This is one of the hardest parts of having a rare aura. You connect deeply, and then they disappear. You offer presence, and they retreat. You hold space, and they run. Jung described this as projection collapse. When someone's false self, the mask, gets reflected back as empty, the dissonance is unbearable. It is not about you. It's the confrontation between who they are and who they pretend to be. Your ability to see through people is that's not just intuition, it is unconscious intelligence. You don't analyze, you feel, you don't invade, you receive. But what you carry silently communicates. I see you. And when someone isn't set ready to be seen, they mistake that gaze for danger. They might react with kindness, or distance, or even aggression. But underneath every reaction is one truth. They felt something with you that they don't feel with anyone else. A connection so real, it scared them. A moment so vulnerable, it made them question who they are. And the most painful part, you rarely get credit for it. They leave thinking they just had a sudden moment of clarity, or an unexplained wave of emotion. But deep down, something in your energy triggered it. You are such not a therapist. You are not a healer in the traditional sense, but you are a mirror, and that is sacred work. Jung believed transformation begins with awareness, and awareness often starts in the presence of someone who reflects back the parts we have denied. That fits what you do, naturally, effortlessly, painfully. You awaken awareness in others just by being fully yourself. And that's why people often feel drained after speaking with you. Not because you take energy, but because you stir it, you touch the unconscious. And that kind of connection isn't easy to process. You may wonder, why do people always come to me with their problems? Why do they vanish after opening up? It's because your aura doesn't allow people to stay asleep, and staying awake, emotionally, psychologically, is terrifying. So if you have ever felt confused by people getting close, then pulling away, if you have blamed yourself for being too intense, if you have carried the pain of being a safe space for others and receiving silence in return, know this: you are not too much. You are just more real than they set you used to. And in a world full of noise, your silent truth is the loudest thing they have ever felt. When you carry a strong, grounded, self-aware aura, it triggers projections. People don't always see you as you are. They see a distorted version of you, one shaped by their own unresolved stories, wounds, and unmet needs. Your calmness is misread as coldness, your depth mistaken for danger, your intensity confused for hostility. And why? Because you don't respond on a surface level. While most people react to what says, you respond to what has felt. You perceive undercurrents. You hear what wasn't said spoken. You notice contradictions between the words and the energy behind them. That alone makes people uncomfortable. They expect a normal exchange. Instead, they feel read. And in a sense, they are. People may call you too deep, too intense, too much, or accuse you of overthinking. But the truth is, you said not overthinking. You stood perceiving the full picture, including the parts they have learned to suppress. You reflect things they've trained themselves not to feel. And that reflection, even unintentional, creates discomfort. The result? Emotional exhaustion. You start hesitating before you speak. You withdraw from shallow conversations. You stop explaining your thoughts in detail. Because most people aren't set really listening. They spur just waiting to respond. Over time, this leads to doubt. You begin to wonder, maybe I am too much. Maybe I am difficult to understand. But you, sir, not. You simply operate on a level that bypasses the usual social scripts. And that's what makes you rare. Jung believed that those on the path of individuation, the journey toward becoming whole, develop a symbolic, intuitive way of relating. They no longer communicate from ego alone. They speak from the soul, but that soul language isn't set always welcome. Not in a world that prefers easy labels, predictable emotions, and neatly packaged personalities. Your presence may carry sadness in silence. You may speak few words, yet leave someone shaken. You may say something true and be met with confusion, not because you were unclear, but because they expected something superficial and got something real. This creates a paradox. People feel drawn to you, but they don't know why. They try to define you and fail. Because you said not speaking in code. You say speaking in depth. This isn't set a reason to isolate yourself. It sets not proof that you set broken. It is confirmation that you have grown. The more misunderstood you are by the many, the more likely it is that you have entered a depth that most have never touched. That sets not elitism. It sets evolution, and it requires patience. You must learn to stand in your truth, even when others can see it, to accept that some will misread your tone, your silence, your gaze, and that is okay. You are not here to be understood by everyone. You are here to understand yourself so deeply that you no longer need understanding from others to feel whole. And when you do meet someone who hears you without you having to explain, it will feel like coming home. Until then, let your soul keep speaking, even if the world is too loud to listen. You attract people who want to change you, then resent you for not changing. This is one of the most painful patterns of having a rare aura. From the outside, it looks like admiration. People are drawn to your calmness, your depth, your quiet intensity. They call you magnetic. They say you are different. But over time, that admiration turns into discomfort, and eventually into resentment. Not because you hurt them, but because you refuse to become what they subconsciously wanted you to be. Jung would describe this as a collision between the individuated self and the collective expectations of others. People don't just see you. They see a projection of who they wish you were. Your presence awakens something dormant in them. They sense your depth and think they can possess it. They interpret your stillness as invitation, your intensity as emotional availability, your uniqueness as something they can mold. At first, it feels like connection. Maybe you feel it too, like someone finally sees you. But then the pressure begins. They want you to smile more, react faster, fit into their emotional rhythm, conform to their idea of normal. And when you don't set, they feel rejected, even though you never promised to be anything but yourself. Their disappointment isn't just about you. It's about the fantasy they built around you. You didn't break their heart. You broke their illusion. This can be especially painful in close relationships, romantic, familial, or friendships. They spur drawn to your depth, but when they realize it can be controlled, they try to reshape the dynamic. They try to shrink you, simplify you, manage you. But the more they try, the more distant you seem. And the more distant you seem, the more they push. Eventually, it turns into conflict. And somehow, you serve the villain in their story. You've probably heard things like, "Why can't you just be normal?" You say it's too complicated. Or worse, they leave silently, offering no closure. And you're left holding a guilt that was never yours to begin with. This is the cost of having a sovereign presence. You become a mirror for unresolved desires. And when you refuse to play a role in someone else's fantasy, they blame you for not making them feel whole. But this isn't set about arrogance or superiority. You spur not better than anyone. You simply chosen through pain or instinct not to betray who you are. That choice makes you rare, and rare things are often misunderstood. Most people are used to others bending, changing themselves to be liked, but you don't yet bend. And when someone used to conditional love meets someone who once said shrink, they get confused, sometimes angry. Jung believed the process of becoming whole, individuation, often involves loss, misunderstanding, and even exile. Why? Because you stop playing the roles others need you to play. You stop serving their projections. You become free, and that freedom threatens those still trapped in masks. They might love your light, but hate how it reveals their shadows. So they leave, not because of who you are, but because of what they see in themselves when they're near you. The solution: not to shrink, not to soften, not to explain yourself endlessly to people committed to misunderstanding you. The solution is to honor the integrity of your energy, to understand your aura was never meant to please everyone. It was meant to filter, to protect, to attract only what aligns. You still attract people that once said stop, but now you still notice the signs. You'll feel the shift when admiration turns into control, when curiosity becomes criticism, and instead of shrinking to maintain the connection, you still walk away, knowing that preserving your truth is more important than pleasing someone's sick illusion. Only a small fraction of people, maybe 1%, carry this kind of frequency, not because they were chosen, but because they chose. They chose to go deep, to face themselves, to stop pretending, and to live as who they truly are, even when it was uncomfortable, even when it cost them comfort, connection, or approval. And in doing so, they became something else entirely, not just a person, but a presence. Your presence is not something you have to earn. It is not something you need to prove. It is the natural result of what you have endured, the healing, the awareness, the quiet honesty you carry. And if you're still becoming, still integrating, still searching for your own center, then you are on the right path. Because this kind of energy isn't about perfection, it's about truth. And your truth is enough. You don't need to change. You don't need to soften your edges, raise your voice, or become easier to understand. You just need to be what you already are, real. And in a world addicted to noise, your authenticity is the loudest thing anyone will ever feel.